Musicians Institute Guitarcraft Program, sponsor of Fox 17 Rock and Review.
Fox 17 Rock and Review. I've got my special guest, Kelly Lang, singer, songwriter, entertainer, and also the spouse of T.G. Sheppard.
Yes, I claim him.
You know, and he was supposed to be your Uber driver today. Because I know when I saw you guys at the Ray Stevens show, he's like, yeah, I'm going to be the Uber, but you can call me the Goober driver.
The Goober driver. Devin O'Day started that mess. At WSM, she's constantly teasing him about taking me everywhere.
Right.
He's super protective of me, and he doesn't like for me to have to drive. So we it works for me.
Wow.
I don't have to park and walk a long way.
It's so nice. It's nice to be pampered, right?
He's wonderful. Yeah, I like being feminine and ladylike. I like having my man take care of me.
Well, I can't believe, you know, and with the new album, Obsession, also, Kelly, you know, you sort of got to touch into, you know, as you said, your ups and downs,
yes,
you know, within your life and within your career.
I have. This album is kind of like a labor of love for me. You can see where I've come from. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and you know, TG helped me a great deal through all of that.
Right.
And you see some low times in the songs and the lyrics. There's a song that I dedicate to Barry Gibb. It's a song called Last One Standing in the Rain, and it's about the loss of his brothers.
Right.
And you can kind of sense a BG vibe in that song.
Well, and you guys are so close, too.
We are. We're very close friends.
You know.
Thank goodness. I love their family so much. And that's inspired, you know, me to do even more writing. And then it goes into Mr. Right, which is, you know, I'm so happy right now, and I really
like the Mr. Right.
I love the song Mr. Right because it's fun to sing, and it's about my man. You know?
And you can tell you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
And that you're passionate about the song. You know, and Marie Osmond also was raving about your new album.
I was very pleased with her comment. That was so sweet of her. Thank you.
Yeah, it's so amazing. Well, and I was going to bring up, you know, keeping up with you and TG and with your new album coming out, you know, within the past few months. You guys are like, you know, is your second home part of Graceland now? How's that working?
Well, thank goodness. TG has an affiliation as a friendship with Elvis. And throughout the years, I've become friends with a lot of the people that are involved with the Graceland area.
Including Priscilla.
She's such a sweetheart. So we get to stay at the guest house at Graceland, my favorite hotel.
Right.
And we do shows there, you know, on occasion.
Yeah.
So one coming up in August, I hope.
Oh, that's incredible. I love it that you guys are doing that. And the funny thing is that TG is so soft-spoken on that. When you talk to him about like his A&R days, he'll tell you all sorts of stories about all the artists he discovered.
Yeah.
But talking about his own personal life, you kind of got to draw it out of him.
It's so cute because his tone goes down. He gets sentimental. You know,
Yeah.
he really loved him.
Well, you know, in this album, you know, your songwriting, so many other artists have recorded your songs, made huge hits with them. And I wanted to bring up how the whole Dragonfly thing sort of intertwined into this album and the fancy new leather jacket you have.
I'll have to show that later. Well, my sanctuary is my swimming pool area, and it's the only place that I can really calm down and let songs kind of flow easily when I begin to write.
Right.
Either in the bathtub or in the pool. So I don't do a lot of co-writing, as you can imagine. But
it's hard to fit them.
That's why these pictures, you know, meant so much to me being in my pool. Well, a lot of times I'll be out on the pool and I'll hold up my fingers and dragonflies will come land on me. Like,
How
it's
neat is
really
that?
wild. I mean, like over and over again, most every day of the summer.
Right.
And I was telling Devin O'Day that story, and she goes, well, Kelly, that doesn't surprise me because a dragonfly is born in the water and then it begins to fly, very much like your songs.
Ah.
So I included the dragonfly in there, and you know, people know that I love dragonflies because of that phenomenon. Right. And I collect things now of dragonflies. And I recently got a cute leather jacket with dragonflies all over it. So
that you got for your birthday, right?
I did. Well, you've done your homework.
I try, you know, got somebody coming on to talk with. Now, I also wanted to bring up that, you know, you've really taken on social media. And I know the last time we talked, we were talking about all of your social media videos with the Throwback Thursdays.
Yeah.
And it was always kind of fun to see what song you were going to do on social media, you know, drag out one of your guitars and start playing.
Well, I loved doing them, and you know, with your encouragement, and I've had several people encourage me recently to get back into them. I just didn't want to overstep my boundaries and make people go, oh, good grief, here she comes again with another song. I'm not the greatest guitar player nor the greatest singer or whatever, but I come out of a place of love when I sing these. I love these songs. I love the writers. I love the stories behind them, and hopefully that transmitted that.
Well, I think the fun thing for me was to see what song you were going to do, because you could tell it wasn't planned out.
It was
and
not.
it's just like kind of what hit you that morning.
It was.
It's like, well, I had eggs for breakfast, so I thought I'd do this song.
That's exactly the way it was. And you know what? TG is the camera guy, you know?
Oh, I didn't even know that.
So one day, the funny
Uber
story
driver,
is...
camera guy,
Yeah,
singer.
one day, he didn't know that it was turned facing him, and all he had on was his boxers, and he goes, oh! So we had to delete that really quickly.
That was like the candid version.
It was really funny. But I mean, we have a lot of fun doing them, and I'll probably go back and do one here and there
I
if you
hope
want.
so.
Yeah.
And you were saying also with the new album Obsession, you know, it didn't lend itself as much to that. But it's like, to me, it was just a fun thing because it was kind of an intimate view, you know, in your living room with you playing a song.
I didn't think anybody cared, really.
Well,
But
tell the story about where you got off the plane.
we were going to Australia. And I didn't realize how much that had translated into people's homes. I thought it was just me and TG and my dogs.
With the Throwback Thursday.
With Throwback Thursdays.
Yeah.
And I landed in Australia, and the mayor of this area picked us up, and he goes, oh, Throwback Thursday! And I was like, oh, I need to take this more seriously. I need to, you know, powder my nose or put something a little bit more flattering on or sing better. So it just made me a little bit more precautious of things.
I think they're great, though. And obviously, I mean, you know, even in Australia, they're going, hey, this is good stuff.
Well, it's organic. That's how I want to look at it.
I think they're incredible. Now,
Thank you.
with the new album, you know, I know you've got a lot of other secret projects that you can't tell us about, you know, with like, you know, possible acoustic gigs and things like that coming up in 2018. Where can everybody find the album, especially if they want a signed copy?
Yeah, I like holding them. I like seeing the artwork and stuff in there.
And beautiful images and everything, too. The photos came out great.
Thank you so much. Well, you can go to kellylang.net.
Okay.
I'll sign every one of them that come through kellylang.net. That's for the physical copy. And then, you know, you can get things on Amazon, iTunes, you know, all the normal places you can download music. But I just like holding them.
I think it's incredible. You know, and I remember when the photos first came out, and you posted some of them shyly on Facebook, and then the album came out later on, so it wasn't even intended that way.
No, it was not. Everything I do is an accident.
But it works, right?
You know what? I've learned the hard way that everybody is trying to figure out what other people are doing.
Right.
And seriously, everything is kind of like, oh, I did that? I didn't, you know, it's just kind of a happenstance, and then it's been working okay.
Yeah.
You know, and so I'm just thrilled that people still know my music, still know my name, and are happy to see new things coming out. It's such a thrill.
Well, do you think you sort of got some of this approach from your father, who was obviously, you know, the manager for Conway Twitty? You know, did you sort of learn some methods from him?
You know what? I probably did. I learned a lot of the way that Conway treated people, and he was such a... he never left the stage without signing every autograph of every fan that came to his shows.
Right.
He was a gentle soul. He was a very classy kind of guy. And I learned a lot of that behavior from Conway, but the business side from my dad, he was always a great example of a perfect gentleman. And he's been written about in a lot of books recently, and I'm so thrilled.
I've noticed that.
Yeah, even Karen Wheeler wrote about him in her
Right.
book recently. So I think I have organically, again, learned all this stuff, and it's probably in my DNA, and it's just kind of coming out.
That's what I was going to say. You can't,
Yeah.
you know, between, you know, your father and then, you know, and you and TG, it's like, you really can't avoid it.
Well, thank you. I hope to take it as gracefully as I can. I'm just so appreciative of anybody that follows my music. It's so cool.
And your Throwback Thursdays, which hopefully will come back in 2018.
All right.
I'm just suggesting it. I mean, you know, me and the, you know, Australians can't be wrong.
Well, I'm hoping to put together a show coming up soon. I've done this concert of all of the songs on this album with full band, full horns, full backup singers and all, and that was a blast.
Totally.
But I really want to do this show more acoustically and take it down a notch, and maybe something, you know, like the Bluebird or something like that, where people can kind of interact with
Just
it.
a more intimate venue. I know when you've done shows at like Third and Lindsley, I've definitely enjoyed that. And especially it's like a who's who from the Grand Ole Opry and everything else, and pull people up on stage, and TG does some songs, and it's just, it's once again, it's organic, but it's very Nashville and very neat.
Thank you.
And as a fly on the wall, standing back, you know, having my beverage, I enjoy watching it and being entertained.
Let me tell you something. When I'm backstage and somebody goes, "Did you know that Lee Greenwood's here?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" So naturally, I'm going to call him up, you know, or Exile or whatever. It's so flattering that somebody would come to the show.
And you and your mom are going to go see Lionel soon.
Yes, I'm taking her for her 80th birthday, And we're going to go backstage and get her photo op with Lionel.
You guys are friends with everybody.
He's a new friend for me, but TG goes way back with him. He calls him Lionel.
Oh, my goodness. Well, be sure and pick up a copy. Obsession by Kelly Lang. It's an incredible album, and, you know, I always look forward to seeing you guys live, too, because the shows are fun. You never know who's going to show up. And you and TG are so good on stage, just as you are in real life.
Well,
and I think it comes across. And I'm looking forward to new editions of Throwback Thursday. Be sure and watch for social media where Kelly will do those as well. The one and only Kelly Lang.
Thank you, Eric.
Thanks for watching the Rock and Review.
Musicians Institute Guitarcraft program, sponsor of Fox 17 Rock and Review.